you love to play. Oh, you love to play. Don't your comments won't relay. Sign this on my page for you. Oh my God, he changed. Young life, I can't see back karma. I just need some brains so I could keep myself in order.
Hello, friend.
I'm here.
He got problems, she got problems, only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? It's time for another story time. Well, we're continuing. Welcome to part 2 of He Left Me with the Rent. So, let me kind of back up for that morning. So, remember I told y'all in part 1 that I had an interview. So, I had got up, gotten dressed. I had an interview with the, I was working with a staffing agency. So they had got me this interview with a, if I'm not mistaken, dermatology practice. And so when I went to, like, I had got up, and as I said, Ty was asleep. He was slumped. But I could hear the phone. The phone was vibrating back to back to back. Y'all, when I can't even tell you how many times that little boy called Ty. I know it was 50 to 60. How much he was calling back to back to back to back to back to back. So it was like, it was crazy. Anyway, so I can, I can hear it. I went to look to see who it was. Again, as in the previous story, I was like, I had lost the battle, but I still had a little hope or whatever. So I went to my interview because my interview was that morning. So I had to rent a car. So I went to the interview, and like, I go to the building, like, I'm looking at the directions, went to the building, walked up to the door, and the door is locked. So me and this lady standing outside, and so she was like, she went to pull on the door too. Like, she had came up maybe like 5 minutes behind me. She pulled on the door, and nothing. So I'm sitting outside. I was like, well, let me go sit in the car. So I sat in the car for a little bit, and I was like, it's like 10 minutes past my interview time, and the door is locked. So let me email my case manager. So I'm emailing my case manager, and then while I'm sitting there, like, I had text my homeboy to thank him for coming, like, coming and trying to talk situations down to get Ty to see another point of view, because it's like, at this point, you're not making sense. And I'm not even gonna lie, even with my homeboys talking to him, I kind of felt like he was on Ty's side once he went outside, because I had thanked him. Even I walked him outside once he went outside, and he was like, I'm on your side, I promise. He was like, but he's already made up his mind. He's like, Angel, I can look at him, looking dead in his eyes. He's already made up his mind. He's already made up his mind. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing I can say. There's nothing nobody can say that's going to change his mind. He actually feel like he's doing the right thing. So I was like, I'm frustrated, mad. Anyway, so, like, I had texted him, and so he was like, how you doing? Like, how you holding up? Like, I had cried so much. Like, my eyes were so puffy. I was rocking my natural hair because, of course, I don't have a job, so I'm not able to get my hair braided and stuff. So I'm rocking my natural hair. So I sent him a picture, like, so, and I'm like, my eyes are puffy, but still, like, thank you, for showing up or whatever. So when I got back home, it's still morning time, because the interview that I was supposed to have, nobody is in office. Nobody's there. Nobody's opening the door. Nothing. So my case manager was like, once she emailed around, found out, and she finally got a response, she was like, oh, somebody somebody messed up the date, so they mixed up the date. So they want to know if you could come back tomorrow. No. I couldn't come back tomorrow because literally I just got this rent-a-car. I got to pay for an Uber or Lyft now to get home. To take the rent-a-car back because I only have it for like till, I think it was like till 12. It was the 12 or 1 o'clock, somewhere in there. It might have been a little later than that. It might have been 3. But I know I only had it for a couple of hours. So it's like, I was like, no, I can't come tomorrow. And I was like, when's the next available? And so she was like, you can't come tomorrow? And I was like, no, I can't. I couldn't. Like my money was strapped. It was like I had made arrangements to come today. Like it. And so she was like, okay. She was like, well, let me find out what they want to do, and we'll go from there. And I was like, well, okay. Well, she was like, so you could go ahead and go home. So I went home because literally there's nobody at the interview. So that's when, Ty, I noticed, like, he was still asleep. I noticed he was asleep before. Like, the phone was ringing before I left for the interview. The phone was ringing when I came back from the interview, honey. The little boy was blowing him up. So, again, you woke up and you had decided, like, you wanted to leave. So, in my mind, I'm going, so you're moving out. You're making this decision, and none of these people can come get you. You need me to take you to move to another place. You need me to take you to move out. They can't come get you. They're helping you decide. They're telling you I'm the problem, but they can't come get you. That's crazy. But anyway, I was like, yes, no, that's fine. So while he's packed, like you haven't even fully packed yet. You haven't fully packed. You haven't fully packed. Like, you're still packing. Still trying to decide what you're taking. You don't have no suitcases. You don't have nothing together. You're still trying to decide what to take. So you get whatever you're going to take, and I'm sitting in a car. So the mental capacity of you, I had opened the trunk. So the mental capacity of you put some stuff in the back seat, and then you're holding the stuff in your lap. And I started to say, the trunk is open. But then it was like, you know what, Angel, be quiet. Shut up. Because if you want to do this on your own, you have lost this battle. Move out of the way. Now, mind you, before he left, he had already made arrangements. Like, we had a discussion. He had made arrangements. Because, again, remember, I don't have a job. So the question was asked because you're moving, like, with a week, not even a week's notice, within a couple of hours notice. So when it came down to your week for rent, you had agreed, like, hey, I'm going to pay my rent until the end of the month. Because according to you, they told you to get you in over there, like, hey, we're going to let you, like, stack your money, so to speak. You really believe that them people's gonna come over there and just let you come over there and live for free? Baby, listen. So anyway, so you had already agreed, like, hey, I'm gonna pay my weeks until the end of the month, and then after that, you're on your own. And I could respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could respect that. So I drop him off, right? So, yeah, like, once I drop him off, I went to drop off the rent-a-car. The rent-a-car is now late because I had to take you to your new place because nobody else who helped you conjure up this plan could come get you. And so even before I dropped you off and you started telling me, like, she was your girlfriend or whatever, and I was like, okay. And even with talking to my homeboy, I was like, yeah, he said his little girlfriend, the girl that came to pick him up the other day was his girlfriend, but she ain't had no gas to come and get you today to help you move. Nobody's helping you pack and move. everybody who came up with this plan is not helping you pack and move. But you let me know, like, oh, she's in college or whatever. And I was like, oh, her parents are definitely not gonna go for that. First of all, she's Caucasian. Second of all, she's going to college. Third of all, you don't have a high school diploma. Fourth of all, you're working at Burger King. You really think they're gonna go for this? I said, sweetheart, the time she walks on that campus, she's a goner. It's over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for you, baby. It's over. But again, let me mind my business, because you have lost this battle, Angel. So clearly dropped you off, took the rental car back. Rental car is late, so I get charged an extra $30. I get charged an extra $30. Got an Uber or Lyft. Get home, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, how did we get here? How did we get here? So I'm trying to still figure things out. It's like, okay, you need to make an adjustment, because at this point in time, I'm not even gonna lie, y'all, I was still living like Ty was there, meaning like maneuvering, not moving stuff. Like the stuff that he had left there was still there. I'm maneuvering like he was still there, like not living like, girl, you got a bachelorette pad, you don't have a kid, you don't have to worry about this grown ass man. Live your life, move on. This man said, let him go. But I'm still kind of hurt, because it's like, my kid chose these people over me. Like, you really believe these other people over me. How am I stealing your money? You pay your bills yourself. When it's rent, you take the money and cash out me. You see me go pay the rent, because if I didn't pay the rent, my love, we wouldn't have no place to stay. So how was it when it wasn't your week, the rent was still getting paid? I ain't got no job, but you not sending me no money. So how am I stealing money from you? Baby, I was flabbergasted. Anyway, so the week went on, and it comes time to where you're going to pay your part, like you agreed to before you left, right? So I'm hitting you up, like, it was so crazy, y'all. Something was like, go ahead and charge the card. Excuse me. Something was like, go ahead and charge the card, but I didn't, because I did not want to maneuver like that, because I still had like a picture of his card. I had his card numbers, like everything. Like, Ty used to trust me like that, but I never, even with me having like a picture of his credit card number, his CCV, all that stuff, I didn't make any movements. I didn't do anything without saying, hey, Ty, is it okay for me to charge this? I'm going to go ahead and pay this from your card. Is it okay to do this? That's just me. Like, because I don't want nobody to touch my stuff. You know what I'm saying? So even though like I had like the picture of his stuff, before I went to go pay rent and to go pay his portion of the cell phone bill, I hit him up to say, hey, is it okay for me to go ahead and charge stuff? You didn't respond. So I was like, let me just go ahead and pay rent. So I go in, I'm logging in online, going in to log in, because you told me like, hey, you was going to pay your portion of the rent. I hit you up and you ain't say nothing, so I assume like you sleep, you working, etc. I go to pay rent, and the message come back and said card decline. Card decline. So in the extended stay where we live, you have to pay by 12 noon. If you don't pay by 12 noon, they charge you, that's an extra $30 fee on top of the weekly rate. So I'm texting, hustling, bustling, like, hey, because it's like, well, the first time I thought about it, the first time it hit me like to do it, it was early morning. And I know you get, because he has the bank that pays you like 2-3 days early. So I started to do it, but I didn't. Again, I don't want to move. I'm already being accused of moving funny, and it's just I don't want to move funny. But it's like I want to go ahead and pay my rent. You already said that. You even according, like I heard him on the phone tell these people, "Hey, I'm gonna pay her rent to the end of the month." I heard him tell these people that. They know I don't have a job. These motherfucking people did not give up. They did not care. But in his defense, I heard him say, "Hey, I'm gonna pay her rent to the end of the month." Like I told her I'm gonna pay her rent to the end of the month. Yes, I'm coming over there, but I told her I'm gonna pay her rent to the end of the month. Me, like it was like, okay, like I'm taking his word, but I don't know what arrangements they told you. Besides, oh yeah, you just come over here and stack money. Which I had already said, like, there's no way these people just gonna let you come over here and stack money. Something's not right. Like, they trying to get you over there too bad. But, so, I go around 8, 9 o'clock again, and I went. I was like, okay, well, let me charge it, because maybe the funds hadn't hit his account yet. So, I charged the card again. Card declined. I ain't got no job. I ain't got no mama. My mama is sick in the bed. I think at this point in time, she had been through hospice like either her second or third time already. I ain't got nobody to be like, hey, help me out. Because remember, Busy Bee was like, friend, I'm at my limit. And she had helped a lot. She had helped a lot. She had helped a lot. She had paid my rent. Matter of fact, hold on. So I was checking like the cash out basically, and I think she paid like 3 or 4 times. But anyway, like 3 or 4 times at $300 a pop, you do the math. Anyway, she paid. So that's gone, right? And at the time, like I think I asked my other homeboy, and he was going through things, so he couldn't do anything. Like, so this is my last option. So this is like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And I'm, texting you, hitting you up, I'm calling you, and I'm getting no answer. So he had this little friend. he had this little friend that she used to hit him up all the time before. I got quite a few story times about her little ass. He had this little friend. What am I gonna call her? Cause ooh. Sneaky B. So this Sneaky B, like, they used to talk all the time, and he really truly thought like this girl was his friend. But I had let him know like how she had maneuvered with a couple of things, and I was like, something not right. Like, sweetheart, that's not your friend. Yeah, I need to put her in the rotation for story time too, huh? Anyway, I was like, that's not your friend. So I hit Sneaky B up on Instagram, and I was like, hey, have you talked to him? Because I can't get in contact with him. I can't seem to reach him. And so this was like I had hit her up like a couple of times, previous, when he wasn't responding, or like he didn't get back in contact with me right away. So she felt some type of way, and she was like, I really don't like the fact that when you can't get in contact with him, that you contact me. Excuse me? She was like, I really, and we're on Instagram, and she was like, I really wish you would stop that. Now, mind you, you the same little heifer who, when he would be on the phone with you year previous, I had never met you, had never seen you before ever in my life, but you was bold enough, bitch, to ask for some fucking money to feed you when you was hungry. And then had the audacity to tell me, hey ma, and I kept telling Ty, and I was like, any of them little hoes who you do that shit, watch that, because I never met them girls, and I'm not their mother. I haven't even been around them to be a mother figure. So watch them hoes who do that. You the same little heifer. You the same little girl. I'm hungry. Can you cash out me some money? Hey, I'm really hungry. Can you cash out me $17? You the same little girl. You the same little bitch. And so I said, excuse me? And so she was like, I really want to be left out of y'all, you and him arguing. I said, first of all, only thing I asked you was, have you talked to him? Nothing more, nothing less. And the only reason that I'm not really going in on you is out of the respect for your mama. And you a kid. I said, but don't worry, sweetheart. I won't ever contact you again. And so I had said something else, and I had M-E-A-N-T in it, like mint. And so she was like, I don't think that means what you think it means. So I went and went to the dictionary and screenshot the meaning of the word. Like, ho, you not as smart as you think you are. All for me simply asking you, have you talked to him? I didn't even go into detail what was going on because it wasn't your fucking business. How's things going now? Stupid hoe. Anyway, so she after that was over, I was like, it's whatever. So it's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock hour. Try again, card decline. So I had again the back of the card, right? I had a picture of the front and the back of the card. So I called the customer service number because I've had 2 phones for a while. So I called the customer service number off my business phone, and this is when I was still with Track Phone. So Track Phone, again, was the simplest way that I could keep that number on, because it was literally, at that time, it was like $10, because I was doing the $10 card. So it was $10 a month. Nobody's calling that phone. Nobody even had that number. So I didn't have to worry about going over nothing. I didn't have to worry about text messages. The only people who had that number was me sending out for interviews. So if that phone was ringing, it was for an interview. It was for a job. So I used my Track Phone to call the customer service number. So I called the customer service number, and on there it said it was like $190. What the $190? So this is 10 o'clock. Rent is due before 12. And at this time, the manager, every manager who has been at this complex on this property, I have been cool with. I have been, because I'm the cool tenant. Like, you don't get no problems from me. If everything is working how it's supposed to work, you don't get no problems from me. Like, I respect the rules. So just in case some BS goes down, y'all got, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got my back. I'm nice to y'all, so you'll be nice to me in case I need you. You know what I'm saying? So the property manager, like, we're real cool. So at this point in time, it's like around 11:30, he would send, like, to the people he was cool with, he would send, like, housekeeping to, like, knock on the door. Because if you wasn't staying, housekeeping needs you out of the room so they could clean the room for the next people, right? So I knew it was housekeeping because housekeeping don't come clean my room. I clean my room. So I decline housekeeping. So nobody should be in my room. Nobody should be in my unit at all because I decline housekeeping. So I clean my room. So when it was a knock at the door and it was the housekeeper lady, I knew it was the manager. And I was like, oh, yeah, tell him I'm coming. I was asleep. Tell him I'm coming. Because it's getting close to 12 o'clock. And I need to make a decision because it's like I need to let him know, like, hey, you leaving? If not, then it's going to be a $30 charge. So I'm calling Ty, texting Ty. No response. No response. 12 o'clock rolls around and there goes the $30 charge. So I'm calling. He's not answering. He's not responding. Not answering, not responding. So at this point, it's like, I need to send some stuff out. Like, I need to send some maydays out because I'm strapped. So reached out to my aunt. My aunt was like, I ain't got it. I can't help you this time. There goes that. So I'm reaching out to, I sent out a text to my cousin, to my homeboy who had came and talked. I'm reaching out. Everybody's going through their own situation. Everybody's strapped for cash. My cousin was like, do I want to say my name? No. My cousin in Miami, because I have family in Miami. I used to spend summers in Miami. So my cousin in Miami, like, I called her, and so she was like, I don't have it. Like, I'm going through some stuff right now. If I had it, I would send it to you. She was like, but let me call my cousin, but it's her uncle. She was like, let me call uncle and see if he can help you, because he was like, they may be able to help you. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So while she's doing that, at this point in time, I'm strapped. I'm frantic, manic, don't know what to do. So before I go to the internet, I went downstairs to talk to the manager, and I'm saying, this is what's going on, because we have been there since November. So, and this is after COVID? No, this is still before COVID. So he was like, I let him know, and I was like, listen, Tyler was supposed to pay the rent this week. He's not answering his phone. He moved out, spare notice. Like, I was like, he moved out all of a sudden. I don't have the money. I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm trying to get it. And so he was like, calm down. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Calm down. Like, it's going to be okay. And he was like, we're going to work with you. We're going to figure it out. He was like, so here's your options. He was like, since it's after 12, if you're going to pay for the week, they're going to add the $30 charge to it. And this is going to be the new total. He said, if you're going to stay for a night, this is how much it costs for the night. Right? So I was like, okay. Y'all. I was like, okay. And he was like, let me know, just keep me posted. And so, like, I'm hyperventilating, like, I'm breathing hard. He was like, before you walk out this door, calm down. This is a complete stranger. You just know me from me paying my rent and living in this extended stay and seeing my face. That's it. So I take a deep breath, and he said, it's going to work out. It's going to be okay. He said, I can't believe your son did that. He's like, but it's going to be okay. It's going to work out. So I go back upstairs, and I get the internet, and I go to my Facebook. And at this time, my Facebook it's popping. So I'm on Facebook, and I'm like, listen, those who can give, I usually don't ask people for nothing, and I don't. But if I'm asking, I really, truly need it. And if I can't get, like, I really, truly need it. So I put my cash up, and I was like, if you can give $1, I'll take $1. Please, anything. Please. So people started donating, right? Now, mind you, at this time, what did I name that girl? At this time, I'm not even going to go into that. Mind you, at this time, I'm cool with a lot of people. Like, we cool. And those people who I thought were going to give did not. Complete strangers came together. People I have never met personally ever in my life gave to my Cash App. People were saying, hey, if you can wait till next Friday, I got you. But the people who I was real cool with, who I thought without a shadow of a doubt be like, I got you, did not do a damn thing. Did not do a damn thing. I wasn't expecting Busy Bee, because Busy Bee had went above and beyond. My homeboy who had been there to talk, he asked how much it was, and he was like, I can't. He had his stuff going. He had something going on. so he couldn't. But it was 2 other people that I was waiting for to make sure like y'all was gonna hit that button. Silence. Nothing. So anyway, I'm trying to get up money. So my cousin texted me. My cousin in Miami, she texted me. So she was like, hey, I got in contact with Unc. This is Unc number. He said, call him to let him know, like, what's going on. So I'm frantic, of course, because I'm on a time crunch. So I called him and I was like, hey, now mind you, I spent a summer in Miami because her uncle is my cousin. So I spent the summer in Miami with him. Like, I stayed at his house, right? And so I'm on the phone. He was like, hey, how you doing? Like, we haven't talked in a while because at his house, we fell out. Maybe I need to tell that story time. I don't know. We fell out because I don't know what it is about people who feel like they need to control me. Maybe it's my height. I don't know. I'm unsure. But anyway, we ended up falling out. And it was like, I ain't want to come back because the vibe, the atmosphere was just absolutely horrible. I ain't want to come back no more. And I absolutely love spending the summer in Miami. I love that. But anyway, so she was like, call him. So I called him and I was like, hey, how you doing? And so he was like, hey, what's going on? And so I told him like the real situation. Like, hey, he left out of the blue, like spare the moment, no notice. He said he was going to pay to the end of the month, but he didn't. Like, the card is declining that he told me to use. He's not answering the phone. He's not answering text messages. Like, like I really truly need the money. Like, if you just bear with me, like I'm gonna pay you back. Like, I just need you to trust me. And so he was like, well, I'm at dinner right now. Can I eat first? And so I can hear his wife in the back, and his wife and I are really, really cool. She's really a sweetheart. And so I can hear her in the back, like she was like, like, like that chastising type tone, like, you know what I mean? And so he got silent. He was like, well, we're at dinner right now. So once we get done eating dinner, then I'll call you back. At this time, it's like 3:30. I have till 5 o'clock to get it done. You're at dinner. You're taking your time. Okay. So I'm sitting there like literally, and at this point, like I just dropped to the floor and I'm just crying out. Like I was like, God, at this point, it's whatever. It's whatever at this point. It is whatever. And at this point, like, y'all, I promise you, the thought of Tyler absolutely disgusts me. Because it's like, without a shadow of a doubt, you haven't paid my rent. You see me calling you. Your phone is glued to your motherfucking hand. You see me calling you. You just left me with the rent. So I'm sitting there waiting. So around 4:15, Unc calls back and he was like, okay, so how can I get the money to you? And I was like, so I went downstairs to talk to the manager again and told him, I was like, hey, my cousin's going to send the money because, he was like, how can I pay? Can I go online and pay it? Or can I do it by credit card? Like, can I call and do it over the phone? So he was like, he can't do it over the phone, but he can go online and like, there's an option where he was like, hey, I'm paying for, as a gift, and he can do it that way. Right. So when you pay online, like there's two different boxes. There's I'm the guest and the card holder. And then there's I'm doing this as a gift. And, I'm the person paying for the week or whatever. Week, month, whatever. So, his wife was like, you don't have Cash App? And I was like, no, I do. And so she was like, what's your Cash App? And so I was like, oh, I would text it to you. So I text him the Cash App. He was like, what is Cash App? Like, he's really, really old school, y'all. Like, really, really old school. Really, really old school. So anyway, So I text him. I was like, oh, give her the Cash App. And literally, money right there. And so I was like, thank you. I promise you, like, I'm going to pay you guys back. And so he was like, okay. He was like, yeah, you really need to, talk to Tyler and let him know, like, the consequences. And, like, I'm sitting there and I'm trying not to say, can you shut up so I can get off the phone and go pay it? But at this point, you're helping me, so I need to be quiet and listen, right? It's like, I don't already have enough on my plate, but I need to hear you chastise me about chastising my son because he left me with the rent. So I listened to you for a good 5 to 10 minutes. At this point in time now, it's 4:30, 4:45. I go trot downstairs so I can pay the rent. So I paid the rent with my card, swiped my card. The manager was like, I told you it was going to work out. And I was like, yeah, it worked out. Because by 5 o'clock, like, he was going to have to lock the door and you're going to have to put me out. Like, I can't. There's no access. It's 4:30, 4:45. So, paid the rent, another week in the clear, and next week is my week. I don't know. I'm hoping, like, I don't know, hoping the internet was coming through. Now, mind you, I'm not even going to lie. Internet was trickling in. And remember, like, everybody was saying, like, hey, next week, like, if you just wait till payday, we got you, right? I didn't even give them full extent. I was just saying, like, hey, if you can, I need your help. Can you send $1? Real talk. So, I'm going, like, I go back upstairs and I bust out crying because it worked out. But it's like, at this point, my son just left me with the rent. You're not answering your phone. You're not answering your text messages. I know you see me calling you. So at that very moment, after I got through crying, I had made the final decision. I was like, at this point, it's done. It's over with. I know, like, you're dead to me. You're dead to me. I would, even if you didn't have the money, because I don't know what's going on over there. And I know once you walk through that door, every last one of them motherfucking demons, they head spent around and they started spitting out green shit. And what you going through over there, I knew it was purity hell. I knew they set you up. At this point in time, I have no clue what's going on. But I got to let you lay in that motherfucker because that was your choice. That was your choice. You didn't want to listen to me. You kept telling me over and over. Like, every time I keep telling you, like, hey, that person ain't no good for you. Hey, stay away from that person. You keep telling me, you the only one who think about that. My homeboy said that too. When I be like, get away from that. Like, I got a feeling about this person. Get away from that person. You can see it. Like, they drain your skin. Like, you don't even look the same. They drain you. Like, energy is real. Spirits are real. They draining you. They using you. Move around. Get from around these people. Don't want to listen to me. You're the only one who think like that. You're the only one who think like that. And then I'll be spot on right. Anyway, so at this point, it's like you're dead to me. Like, I don't have nothing else to say. I don't have nothing else to talk about. You have access so you can go walk into. At this point in time, I'm with Sprint. Sprint was not out of business. I absolutely love Sprint. I miss Sprint. There is a vlog somewhere 2-3 years ago on his channel. I miss Sprint. I sent you a text message. I don't know if I still got that text message or not. I'll look and see. If I still have it, I'll insert it. I sent you a text message saying, don't call me. Don't text me. I wish you the absolute best. Y'all, around 6:30, 6:15, Tyler started calling me. When the phone rang, like, I'm sitting on my bed and I'm watching TV and the phone is ringing. I looked at the phone. Phone started ringing. Phone lit up. Looked at the phone. and kept watching TV, ringing back to back to back to back to back to back to back. You left a message. I ain't even listened to the message. About 10-15 minutes later, my homeboy who came over to talk to Tyler before he moved out, phone lit up. And I started laughing because you had text me earlier, and tell me, basically, you couldn't do it. And then it was we really didn't talk after that. So when you called, literally 5-10 minutes after Tyler called, I knew Tyler called you. So when I see you calling, I started laughing because I was like, this boy went and called him. What the? So I pick up the phone because I started not to answer him either. Because I thought Tyler had called him they did a 3-way call. And I was like, Tyler not smart enough for that. He not either. You're not smart enough to merge him in. Basically. So I was like, he not smart enough for that. I'll answer the phone. So I answered the phone. Hello. And so he was like, you ain't see Tyler calling you? I said, yeah, I saw him calling me. I was like, but I had already sent him a text message telling him, I wish him the best. You don't have to say nothing to me. Nothing. I don't exist. Don't say nothing to me. And so he was like, no, he said, it's not what you think. And he couldn't pay the rent. And he was going on. He was like, I started cussing him out. Like he was one of my kids. And I was like, you should have. And I was like, but it's whatever. He was like, yeah, how you expect that girl to pay the rent? You just left her hanging like that. And I was like, what did you just say? He was like, I said, how you expect that girl to pay the rent and he just left you hanging like that? I said, right. So why would I answer the phone if he left me hanging like that? That's your son, man. That's your son. I was like, yep. And I'm his mama. You had no problem walking out this door. And you had no problem. I said, the least you could have done when the first time I text you, the first time I called you to say, hey, the car has declined, what's going on, is to call back and say, hey, Ma, I don't have enough money. You get paid 2 to 3 days earlier than Friday. You knew. You knew. When I first checked the card on your payday, the money was there. But I'm the type of person where I don't mess with nobody's stuff because I don't want nobody to do that to me. So when the money was there, I could have literally charged the card. But when I asked you, hey, are you still paying the rent? You were silent. Everything was silent. So he was like, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. But anyway, we got off that and we talked for a little while. And he was like, well, if you need anything, let me know. He was like, I can't pay you rent, but if you need food or anything, I can shoot you some money for some food or whatever. And I was like, I'm good. Thank you. Which I was. I was good. I was determined not to need nobody. It was I am not going to ever need anybody for nothing. And I was like, it's all good. I needed this. I was like, I needed this. I was like, actually, God needed to show me because my life was wrapped into Tyler because I was so busy of trying to make sure Tyler had a better life. Tyler's life is going to be better. I'm trying to push you. I'm trying to advise you. I'm trying to push you to be better than me. I don't want you to go through nothing that I go through. I don't want you to be in debt. I want you to stack your paper. I want you to, when you walk out this door, you're not worried about nothing. I want you to be financially stable. I want you to work. I want you to build a life for yourself where you don't have to worry about nobody. Nothing. You don't have to call around and ask for no loan, no help. Your credit is straight. If you in a bind for yourself, I can go to the bank. I ain't got to go to people because people are crazy. And I was like, it's all good. Literally, that's what I needed was the motivation. I promise you. So once we got off the phone, the next day was Saturday. Weekend go through. And then that Monday, the agency called me. And so they was like, hey, can you go in for an interview for the same dermatology place. So mind you, remember, like, I had put my Cash App on Facebook, so money was trickling in. Like, people was just sending money. It wasn't a lot of money. It would be like $10 here, $25 here. But two of my cousins was like, hey, I got you, like, on payday. One of my cousins was like, I got you, sis. Like, they sent like $30, $40. So it, like, literally, it was enough for me. Like, at this point in time, this was before COVID, so renting a car was literally like, it was depending on the rate for the day. You could rent a car for $25 a day, depending on the rate. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the day. So Monday, usually people are bringing cars back in. The rates are really, really low. So I was like, I could do the interview tomorrow. And so she was like, oh, okay. So went to the interview, but when I walked in, I could tell. I was like, girl, this job is not for you. It's not. It's not. The office was completely Caucasian. When I walked in, they gave me the stank face. I knew good and hell well I wasn't getting the job. And I got my natural hair. So, yeah. Anyway, I got a story time about that too, baby. Ooh. Anyway, so when I walked out, it was like, it's whatever. Like, I got the car for the day. Like, let me go get, like, before I return the car, you know, for tomorrow, let me go get, you know, my little groceries, like my little water, my little stuff. And literally at this point in time, it's like it was a snap. It was like, live for you. So I'm rearranging the room to where it's just for me. Like, I'm literally like chilling, minding my business, right? So the next week is like, okay, it's coming up to the point in time. It's like, you need to either move out or you're going to pay the rent. So I had made arrangements, y'all. This is in the other story time. Right. Anyway, so yeah. So if you want to hear like the rest of it, I think it's in I moved in with the man for 24 hours. So the rest of that literally, because that literally is like the end of like Tyler leaving me with the rent, to be honest. Because this is really like Tyler the villain part. So yeah. So to find out like what happened with me specifically, that's in a story time. And I moved in with the man for 24 hours. 24 hours or 48 hours, something like that. But I'll put it up on the screen for y'all, so you'll know what to look for, and put the link in. Yeah, I put the link in, so y'all can go watch that story time. So that is in there. So that is, if you want to know what happened like after that. But after the snap, it was literally like, live for you. Live for you. So that was pretty much it. Like, I really didn't talk to Tyler like that, to be totally honest. Once I started living for me, kind of put it up in a nutshell. Once I started living for me, like, I was getting his stuff out. I asked him like, hey, do you want this stuff, or you want me to throw this stuff away? He was like, you can throw it away. Yeah. What else? The next time, like, we didn't talk. The next time I talked to him, I was clearing out storage. Yeah. I was cleaning out storage, and so I was like, you need to come get your stuff out of storage. So he came and got his stuff. Like, I went and picked him up, and he got his stuff out of storage. Like, people would send me pictures of him on Instagram and stuff, and he looked absolutely horrible. When I went to pick him up to go clean out the storage, he looked absolutely horrible. And so even then, like I was putting the stuff in the room, and so the manager who had helped me out, he was still there. And so he was like, well, hey, we miss you around here. Because again, if you watch my vlogs and you saw when the officer pulled me over, and I was telling her, like, basically, like, they're letting neighborhood traffic through, and she was trying to speak me down, like, you don't live in the neighborhood. Anyway, we're, like I was telling her, I was like, we're like a family over there, which we are. It's like, people know who, like, faces. We may not even know names, but we know faces. Some of us know faces and names, but some of us, we know faces. And it was like, oh, we know who and where is where, and who is who, like, even just in passing. So it's like, we're a family, so we know. But anyway, so the manager was like, we miss you over here. And so Ty, he kind of just nodded his head, and he was like, well, I just want to speak to you, because Tyler didn't speak back. And I just shook my head. But anyway, like, he was helping me put the stuff in the room out of the storage, and he took whatever he wanted to take. I dropped him off, and that was it. Until they kicked him out. it's not funny that they kicked him out. It was just, I just knew that was coming. So I guess I'll have to tell that story time separate somewhere. I don't know. I have to look for it in my list because I just got a list. And I told y'all these things are not in order. I just wrote them on a list when I remembered and be like, oh, I should tell that story time. So yeah, that's the story time of He Left Me With the Rent. Excuse me, that's the conclusion. I love you the mostest because you're definitely the dopest in real life, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.